Good afternoon. My name is Jane Paulin, and I have the privilege of serving as the president of the KAGE Association for Gifted Education. It is my honor to welcome you to the 2021 Proclamation signing ceremony for Gifted and Talented Education Month in Kentucky. February is a month set aside to highlight gifted children, their educators, and the work all of you do to provide the appropriate educational opportunities that our gifted students need. We are so pleased to be joined today by Governor Andy Beshear and Commissioner Jason Glass. We will also be joined by several legislative leaders from the House and the Senate. We will have visits from several KAGE Distinguished Student Award winners, as well as students from the Craft Academy and the Gatton Academy. Let's celebrate gifted education in Kentucky.
Hi everyone, this is Andy, and I'm excited to join the Kentucky Association for Gifted Education's annual conference. Let me first thank you for choosing to host this event virtually. It keeps everyone safe. And I know as educators, you become pros at virtual learning, but I know that's been tough too. Let me say thank you. You've made so many sacrifices this year while rising to the challenges posed by this pandemic, and you've done it all for your students. I am forever grateful to you as your governor, but also a dad. The children of Kentucky, they need our support. From educators to parents, community members, and state leaders, we've got to work together to meet our kids where they are in their learning process. If students require more, we should be able to deliver appropriate curriculum to fuel their passion for learning and help shape them for the challenges they face in the future. These children will be leaders of the Commonwealth and our country, and we must take on the responsibility of creating appropriate educational opportunities. This is a goal you've been working towards since this group formed in 1979, and you've adapted to meet the needs of our children through the years. From creating enrichment resources for parents, caregivers, and students, to finding ways to address equity in our educational system, I commend your efforts. As an education-first administration, know you always have the support of Team Kentucky. Together, we will continue to work for our children, creating a bolder, brighter, and better Kentucky for everyone. Today, I'm proud to proclaim the month of February Gifted Education Month in Kentucky. This month will honor the work being done and highlight what we still must do on behalf of our children and their educational needs. The children of Kentucky are remarkable, each and every one of them. You've seen that. And because of your efforts, so many of Kentucky's children will have a passion for education that they're going to pass on to generations to come. Thank you for your part in helping fuel creativity, learning, and the importance of giving back within our students. Keep up the great work. Thank you.
I would like to begin by thanking both the Kentucky Association for Gifted Education and the Craft Academy for Excellence in Science and Mathematics for the opportunity to speak at this virtual ceremony. While much has changed in these unprecedented times, it is necessary for us to preserve our history and to continue honoring our most significant traditions. For the past several years, our Commonwealth has denoted the month of February as a month of celebration for our gifted education programs. Having benefited from these programs myself, I can attest to their importance to students in Kentucky. These programs instill a value of education in students, allow students to explore their interests and challenge themselves academically, and connect like-minded students in an environment that is most conducive to innovation. Before attending the Crafts Academy for Excellence in Science and Mathematics, I was a student at Jackson High School in Jackson, Kentucky. An independent school district in eastern Kentucky, Jackson is only able to offer its students a limited number of advanced courses. The few courses that are offered, though, which are dual credit courses hosted by the local community college, did something greater for me than offer course rigor. The limited offerings led me to truly value the courses that I was able to take. I was genuinely thankful for the education that I was receiving. This ignited a spark within me, leading me to take full advantage of all the academic opportunities that I have continued to have throughout high school. This desire to take full advantage of my education is what ultimately led me to attend the Craft Academy for Excellence in Science and Mathematics. I realized as a sophomore that this program would enable me to challenge myself with a wider array of courses than I would have otherwise had access to, and it has done that and more in the time that I have been a student here. Having unfettered access to Morehead State University's course catalog has allowed me to discover subjects in which I am genuinely interested and plan to study further in college. Additionally, the course variety and other academic opportunities provided to me by the Crafts Academy for Excellence in Science and Mathematics, such as my ability to attend excursions related to specific fields of study or to speak at prestigious events such as this one, played a substantial role in inspiring me to seek a college experience that would provide me with similar opportunities. This led me to apply to, and thankfully gain admittance to, Harvard College. The Crafts Academy for Excellence in Science and Mathematics and other gifted education programs in Kentucky are not only transformative academic experiences for students, however, as they also provide students with an unparalleled environment in which they can develop innovative ideas and embark on ambitious projects. Students of these programs have the unique opportunity to converse with like-minded individuals in a manner that other environments cannot facilitate. These spontaneous conversations, fueled by unwavering curiosity, often lead to independent projects and research that would have otherwise never begun. These benefits, among countless others, demonstrate the importance of gifted education programs to students. I would like to thank our legislators and Governor Andy Beshear for their continued support of such programs. By issuing their support, our elected officials are granting students the opportunities that are imperative to their journeys in becoming the leaders of tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Jason Glass, Kentucky's Education Commissioner and Chief Learner. I want to thank the Kentucky Association for Gifted Education for proclaiming the month of February as Gifted Education Month here in Kentucky. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected everyone, but one of the biggest impacts has been on services offered to our gifted students. As we begin to see the beginning of the end of this pandemic, our districts must continue to ensure that they're providing all children an equitable opportunity to receive gifted services. Although offering some services has been a challenge this school year, educators across the Commonwealth are continuing to find ways to provide what their students need. They've used virtual platforms to offer enrichment activities, group discussion, and to check in on the social and emotional needs of students. Our gifted and talented students have unique needs that must be met for them to reach their potential academically, socially, and emotionally. Providing gifted students with appropriate services maintains their engagement in learning, it allows them to reach mastery of the content, and provides more opportunities for enrichment and acceleration. These opportunities assist Kentucky students in reaching their full potential and prepares them for a future career. From all of us at the Kentucky Department of Education, happy Gifted Education Month.
Hello, my name is Sachi Barnaby, and I'm a senior at the Gatton Academy. Today I'll be playing Movement 1 from Saint-Saëns Oboe Sonata. Gifted education has taught me to be confident in the ways that I learn and how to be bold when pursuing my interests, such as playing the oboe. Thank you for your time.
As a seventh-generation Kentuckian, I am proud to be a Paducah and a product of McCracken County Schools. With only a few months remaining before I graduate, I am grateful for the role gifted education has played on my life in the classroom and as a change maker. Gifted education fostered my love for math and leadership. I was able to begin taking high school math classes in middle school. I completed Algebra 1 and Geometry before my first freshman class. I'm currently taking a statistics college class. My high school career has been full of teachers who inspired me to believe in myself and my abilities. But maybe the area that has the greatest impact on my life has been leadership. And yes, you can be gifted in leadership. 9 years ago, when I was just 8 years old, I was bullied by a classmate. Because I was afraid, I didn't tell anyone. By the time my mother discovered it, I was having panic attacks and stomach spasms. My doctor diagnosed me as clinically depressed, and I took antidepressants for nearly a year. My parents told me that bad things were going to happen in life, and that I could choose to ignore it, I could blame others, or I could be part of the solution. By choosing to be part of the solution, I learned that young people can not only be a part of a positive change, but that we can lead it. I'm not saying it is easy. It was difficult for me in the early days to find my voice. There were times I had to fight to be heard, and there were days I had to fight through my own fears. I had faith and I worked hard. With the help of so many people, I believe we have made a difference. That's the great thing about gifted kids. Learning expands beyond the classroom and is at its best when every available resource is utilized. I was able to serve on the governor's Kentucky Bully Prevention Task Force, and I was able to testify before the Kentucky General Assembly for a law to define bullying. It now protects all 640,000 public school students. I recently had an official Be Kind Kentucky license plate approved, and am donating all proceeds to the 14 youth mental health drop-in centers all across our state. If they are purchased for just 10% of Kentucky vehicles, I will be able to donate $1.7 million in the next 10 years. So, at a time when it is easy to focus on what is wrong and what is not working in our political system, I just want to say thank you to those who have shown me what it means to be a public servant. Our elected officials have inspired me to pursue a career in diplomacy because I've witnessed and experienced a political process that allowed me to be a part of something positive and a part of something that will make a lasting difference. And I believe we all have a responsibility to stand up and speak out against the injustices we see in the world. Today, we celebrate gifted education. I am here today in hopes that you believe you have the opportunity to be a gifted leader. Leadership is about young people, like you and me, believing there are answers to the most difficult problems we face. And leadership is about us believing that when faced with difficulties, we are ready to step up and make a difference. We are far from alone in this quest to make our country and the world a better place. There are young people all across our nation who are starting and leading organizations to feed the hungry, support veterans, teach people to read, raise awareness about child abuse, and raising money to end some of mankind's worst illnesses. Kid President said it best when he said it isn't power or money or fame that makes a positive change in the world. A title doesn't make you more important. The world is changed by you. It is one person filled with love, and it is about them spreading that love. He said things don't have to be the way that they are. The world is changed by ordinary people. Little people living out big love. Those little people are us. Thank you.
Hi, this is Senator David Givens from Frankfort, celebrating with you February as Gifted Education Month in Kentucky. I appreciate the leadership role that the Kentucky Association for Gifted Education does in helping us celebrate this day, but more importantly, I appreciate the moms and the dads and the communities and the students that make gifted education a success. Thanks, and have a great celebration.
Hi there. I appreciate the opportunity to join you to celebrate Gifted Education Month in Kentucky. I'm actually taking a break from working with my children on their schoolwork, something that many of your parents are doing as well. While we recognize our gifted and talented students and teachers every February, we know that the work goes on throughout the year. As gifted and talented teachers, you go above and beyond to challenge students to reach their potential. As students, you not only do your regular schoolwork, but you also participate in gifted and talented programs that enrich and strengthen your experience. This year has been particularly difficult for everyone. Just remember, you gain strength, courage, and confidence when you stop and look a challenge in the face. We're going to overcome this pandemic, and we will come out stronger than ever because of what we have accomplished despite it. As Speaker Pro Tem, I want to commend you all for your efforts and share with you that the House remains committed to ensuring Kentucky children have access to quality education. While we've been able to increase per pupil funding through SEEK and provide additional money to the Family Resource Centers, we're not finished. We have to remove barriers to learning for both academically gifted students as well as children who show great creativity, leadership, or artistic ability. I hope that we can continue to work together to identify ways that we can do just that. Before I close, I also want to recognize the great work that KAGE does. The association is a strong voice for our children, providing advocacy as well as support for parents and educators. Educating parents and district and community leaders on the importance of appropriate educational opportunities for gifted students is particularly critical. Thank you again, and I hope we get to meet in person next year.
To the esteemed members of the Kentucky Legislature and the dedicated educators, parents, and students of the Commonwealth, my name is Andrew Davison, and I'm speaking to you from my room, 411, in the Gatton Academy. In this location and much more, I'm a product of the state support for gifted education. So while I come to you as a student of Kentucky, I am in many ways a culmination of the invaluable educators that have consistently gone above and beyond what's required of them. My own gifted education began in Brea Elementary, where I was given independent support and education from our county's gifted education coordinator and teaching specialist. Thank you, Ms. Jenkins. I was fortunate enough to be able to learn from my hometown university, Morehead State, at the end of elementary school and into middle school. From there, I took advantage of the advanced curriculum offered at both Brown County Middle School and Brown County Senior High School to take my education to new heights, culminating in my participation with the Gatton Academy. This is a testament to the successes of Kentucky's support for the gifted, but it's also a testament to my privilege as the son of educators living in a university town with loving and dedicated teachers. It's important for us to recognize that privilege and realize that not every student has the opportunities that have been offered to me. There's a point where the efforts of teachers don't provide for all of the gifted education needs of the student population. We're already past that point. My home, Brown County, doesn't have one of the largest education grants of the Commonwealth, but we're even farther from being one of the smallest. You may look to me and my peers as successful products of the support from the legislature, but don't think of me as a product of typical support. My educators were exceptional, and while the teachers of Kentucky continue to prove themselves to be the same, they still need financial support from the state. The teachers of Kentucky hold, above all other things, that their students deserve the best education that can be afforded to them. My gifted peers know and recognize that the best education for them may be costly, but that investment made towards the future of the state cannot be understated. With the young academics, doctors, engineers, artists, entrepreneurs, educators, and voters that aim to better our community and the government that supports it. I know this because I live with them. I eat lunch with my wingmate Brian, who's going to be an engineer to provide for his family. I play games with my friend Sophie, who will teach and dedicate herself to the all-important cause I'm discussing today. I came to you today from my room in the Gatton Academy as a product of the state support for gifted education. I thank you for what you have done for me and so many others all around the state and just outside my door. Your continued support has led me to be who I am now, and for that I am very grateful. With that in mind, I ask you to recognize us as more than successful students, but an indication of what our state can be at its best. Thank you for your time and attention.
Kentucky is home to some of the country's best students. I'm going to quote a movie that you guys might make me seem a little old, but this is a line from the movie Top Gun. It reminds me of Gifted and Talented. You guys are the best of the best. So that's why we as policymakers need to continue to invest in every measure of education, not just every level of education. Yes, we need more funding for pre-K, K through 12, higher ed, but we also need to make sure that we invest in our gifted and talented programs so that all of our students have the tools that you need to succeed.
Hello, my name is Lucas Strunk. I'm in the 8th grade at McCrae County Middle School, and I've been receiving gifted services since the 4th grade. The importance of continuing to provide these services in all of our school systems is to allow kids to exceed their talents and passions beyond the core curriculum. These services have allowed me to complete extracurricular activities on the campus of Western Kentucky University and complete several leadership projects throughout my community. I am thankful that Andy Bashir sees how important these programs are and is willing to give his support and help their continuation. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Hello, I'm Joni Jenkins, the leader of the Kentucky House Democratic Caucus. I'm honored to take part in this year's ceremony proclaiming February as Gifted Education Month in Kentucky. I wish we could all be together in the Capitol Rotunda, but I'm glad that the Kentucky Association for Gifted Education chose to have this ceremony online. Next year, hopefully, we can all be back in person. If there's one thing that the COVID-19 pandemic has made clear, it is that our way of life depends so much on the most gifted among us. I cannot imagine what society would be like today without our medical researchers and doctors, or what it would be like without those who made our computers and the software that runs them. Today's leaders in those fields and so many others, from art to zoology, are the very ones helping to make life better for everyone. The gifted have always been among us, but it wasn't until the late 1970s that Kentucky began focusing more on how to build on their considerable talents. Our gifted programs have since done so much for so many. With those found in our schools, we now also have summer camps like the Governor's Scholars, the Governor's School for the Arts, and middle school programs hosted at Western Kentucky University. We also have the Gatton Academy on WKU's campus and the Craft Academy at Morehead State University. As successful as all these programs have been, there is no doubt that the state can and should do more. The amount of money Kentucky sets aside for these programs has changed little over the years. While budget cuts have become the norm, we need to find ways to provide more money in this area. The more we invest in these students while they are young, the more we will reap when they are older. These students are the ones who will tackle the challenges our world faces in years ahead. If we shortchange them now, we are shortchanging our futures. I want to thank each of you for your work to make gifted and talented programs even more rewarding. While there are no easy answers, events like Gifted Education Month are critical in helping to light the way forward. Raising awareness makes it easier to raise the money and support we need to help today's bright students meet their full potential. Thank you again for giving me the chance to take part in today's ceremony, and I look forward to seeing you in person next year.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate Hastings and I'm a 5th grade student at Cassidy Elementary in Lexington, Kentucky. Last year I received the Kentucky Association for Gifted Education Distinguished Student of the Year Award. Today, I want to share with you some of my experiences with Kentucky Gifted Education and why it's so important to keep offering these services for gifted students. I began going to PTP, that's Primary Talent Pool, in kindergarten, and then in 3rd grade I made the switch to GT, which is the program meant for older students. I've thoroughly enjoyed the projects we've done, and I've learned so much from these extra services. With the resources and classes and guidance offered by this program and given to me by my GT teacher, Dr. Angie Madden, I've been able to enjoy school more. Since I started going to PTP and GT, I've learned so much more than I would have otherwise and done so many projects I thoroughly enjoyed. For example, right now I'm writing a dystopian novel in my language arts group, and I'm creating a website for my peers in my leadership group that will explain about different career opportunities and how to pick one that you really love. Gifted and Talented has also given me opportunities to learn outside of my GT classes, such as allowing me to go to a pre-algebra class at Morton Middle School, a middle school near Cassidy. Another example is a field trip my STEM group made to the Lexington Recycling Center, which taught us about sustainability firsthand and answered many of our questions about recycling. And finally, through GT, I have access to programs such as Scratch, where I can learn skills like coding/programming that I can use outside of school hours. I'm very thankful for all of the funding that we receive for gifted services and appreciate all the opportunities Gifted Services has given me. I think it's very important to continue providing these services so gifted students can excel in school. Thank you for giving me this amazing opportunity to share how much gifted education means to me. Bye.
Proclamation by Andrew G. Beshear, Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. To all to whom these presents shall come, whereas the Commonwealth of Kentucky and the Kentucky Association for Gifted Education recognize the need to increase public awareness regarding the unique educational, social, and emotional needs of gifted and talented students. And whereas outstanding gifts and talents are present in children and youth from all cultural groups across all economic strata and in all areas of human endeavor. And whereas gifted students develop to their full potential only when their special strengths are identified and supported through appropriate educational opportunities. And whereas the goal of helping gifted children reach their full potential must be shared by the entire community, policymakers, educators, business leaders, civic organizations, and parents. And whereas we must challenge our high ability students to reach for greater heights if our state and nation are to achieve a world-class educational system. And whereas gifted students in Kentucky provide our state with a vast potential resource for leadership in all areas of human pursuit. And whereas the economic future of Kentucky depends on developing our brightest students. Now, therefore, I, Andrew G. Beshear, Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, do hereby proclaim the month of February 2021 as Gifted Education Month in Kentucky and commend this observance to all citizens. Thank you so much for being with us today for the 2021 Proclamation signing ceremony celebrating Gifted Education Month in Kentucky. Have a wonderful month.